So to give everyone some time to join. I think everyone can see the screen now, right? Let me just share my sound as well. What a nice prize. Actually, to win a bike. That's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not, I'm still student, but not new students.
No, exactly. So that's a shame. And Leo, are you you're working, right?
Yeah, I'm already working now for 6 months.
Wow.
More or less.
Nice. And you are in the Netherlands or somewhere else?
Yeah, but I already moved to Amsterdam because it's much closer to my office.
For your job. Yeah, very nice. And Vanessa, you are still studying, right?
Yeah, now I'm in a block 3, but I'm doing my thesis and internship as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, internship in Albany, so it's nice.
Very nice. All right, I think we're just gonna start. And in the meantime, people can join, of course. So welcome everyone. Good afternoon, I think. For us, for Vanessa, Leo, and me, it's actually morning. It's Saturday morning, but for the rest of you, it's afternoon. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. My name is Marissa. I am one of the representatives at Rotterdam Business School, part of Rotterdam University of Applied Sciences. And today I'm here together with Vanessa and Leo, who are here to answer any of your questions that you might have since they are studying here or have studied here. And after the presentation, I will also ask them to take a few minutes to share their experience as an international student. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat and we will do our best to answer them. But we will answer them after the presentation. I will not make it too long because you already listened to a lot of presentations today. So Rotterdam Business School is part of Rotterdam University of Applied Sciences. And the fact that we are University of Applied Sciences means that our education is very practice-oriented, very profession-oriented. So we really prepare students for the workforce after graduation. Of course, in the beginning of the presentation, I think Amy already told you a lot about the differences between universities, so I'm not gonna spend too much time, but I just want to say that it's really about finding the best fit for you because both types of universities are really good. But it's really up to you. So if you're someone who likes to work in groups and likes to work on projects, then a University of Applied Sciences might be a good fit. If you're someone who really likes the theoretical and more academic side of things, then a research university is a better fit. So that's really, really up to you. So RBS is part of Rotterdam University of Applied Sciences, and it's actually one of the bigger universities in the country. But more importantly, we're located in Rotterdam, and Rotterdam is just a very nice city to be in as an international student because it is home to Europe's largest port. So that already means that it's very international. And nowadays, there are people here living and working from over 170 different countries, or actually 180 right now, I think. So that's pretty much the entire world in one city. But what that means is that everyone can feel at home. A lot of our students even have part-time jobs, even though they don't speak Dutch, which is already a very big indicator of how open a city is towards international students. Since we are University of Applied Sciences, there's a lot of projects, a lot of group work, both in the bachelor and the master program. The bachelor program also has an internship, which is mandatory, and an exchange program. And for the master program, you need to write your thesis for a company. So a lot of contact with the business world throughout your studies. Maybe also good to mention, especially with this crazy year with the COVID situation, is that we've been working a lot on increasing our support system for students. We don't want anyone to feel alone or homesick or suffer from any mental issues. So that's why we've been doing our best to focus on that by creating a good system of buddies, mentors, counselors, peer coaches, just to make sure that we can support our students. What's really nice now is because I was in the office yesterday and everyone has returned to school, so it's quite busy now. And I think as of today, there's also a lot of measurements being released, the 1.5 meters distance and wearing your masks. So that's actually nice that things are going back to normal. So at RBS, we offer a bachelor and a master program. But before we go into the program, I just want to show you a quick video of the city of Rotterdam, because it's just a lovely city to be in.
It's a very vibrant city that is changing and moving very fast.
Rotterdam is basically where I can say I found myself.
I'm really impressed by the city because of the architecture. The closer you move to the center, you get all these quirky buildings and high rises. It really impresses me how dynamic and different it can be. The school organized so many events for us, so it was very easy to make friends.
I really like to challenge myself, not only in the university but also outside of university, to look for new opportunities so I can grow as a person.
What I like the most, I think, is the diversity that I see here. Starting my day early and finishing it super late is how I get the best out of myself, because I can truly experience everything in the city.
It's so amazing to see how a city has developed.
In Rotterdam, I could express myself and accept who I am.
I very quickly found people that share the same interests, and luckily we've created a nice group of friends.
The speed of the city really suits my personality. There's a lot of opportunities here in Rotterdam.
Really is an amazing place to live.
I feel like every day is rich, every single day.
I hope that gave you a nice impression of the city. But of course, the best thing you can do is, if you have the opportunity to actually come and visit the city and see, just feel what it's like and how dynamic it is. This is an overview of the locations, because for the bachelor and for the master students, we have two separate locations. One is more towards the east and one is more towards the south. I mean, both of them are still very close to the city center. The Netherlands is a small country, so I'm saying east and south, but it's still, everything is doable on your bike. We do have student housing. It's located in the middle of both locations. The only thing is that housing has been quite difficult in the Netherlands because it's a very popular study destination, which is a good thing. But then, of course, it also means that it's a little less easy nowadays to find accommodation. So we always tell our students, okay, apply for the dormitories, but then at the same time also look for a place on the private market. Post a message in a Facebook group saying, hey guys, I'm going to start in September and I'm looking for roommates. That's also a very smart thing to do, but make sure to start in time. So not later than spring if you're going to start in September, because it's just, you don't want to have stress about it, and it's important to arrange that first. So now we're going to look at the programs. First, we're going to look at the bachelor program, International Business.
As fast as the speed of light. Right place, right time. Captain of efficiency. Your vision is clear. Beat the competition. King of marketing. Building commercial bridges between cultures. The world is your arena. Master of trade. Improving things for the better. Thinking outside the box. Leader of innovation. Are you born for business? Start your career in international business. Your journey starts here.
Right, so our bachelor program is in international business, and we are University of Applied Sciences, so our bachelor is 4 years. The first year is a little bit more theoretical because you will get an introduction into the business subjects, and the 4 specializations that you can choose from after the first year will all be introduced to you in the first year. The second year is more doing, so a lot of projects. There's an international project. The third year, you have to go on your internship, which you can do in the Netherlands or abroad. So everyone needs to do it, and it's a really good preparation for the workforce. And in the fourth year, you can go on exchange if you want, or you can do a minor in the Netherlands, and you have to write your graduation thesis for a company. Besides the business subject, there's also a big focus on professional development, which is actually the same for the master's, and for the bachelor, there's also languages. As an international student, you will get Dutch, but besides Dutch, it is possible to choose one of these languages. So you can go for European languages or Asian languages or even Russian. And depending on the language that you choose, you can also go to that country during your internship and or your exchange program. It's not mandatory, not everyone likes languages, but it is a nice addition to your program. These are the 4 specializations that you can choose from after the first year. And it's actually nice that you don't have to choose right from the start, because after the first year, you will have a good grasp of what the specializations are about and which one fits you best. Then, of course, we also have master programs. For the business school, we have 2 master programs. There is consultancy and entrepreneurship and supply chain. And of course, especially supply chain is quite popular because we are in the port city of Europe. So a lot of opportunities here in and outside of the country. And they are 1 year. So that's very similar to a research university, for example. The title is also the same as a research university. The only difference is the approach. But I'm sure that Vanessa and Leo can maybe share a little bit more about that, on how they've experienced their program. Besides the business masters, we also have a master related to water management, which is called River Delta Development. A really cool master, and it's offered together with 2 other universities. So together with HC University and VHL University. And that also means that it's a little bit longer than the business master. So it's 1.5 years, and you study you start your program at HC, you move to VHL, and you finish your program in Rotterdam. It's also really nice. With regards to the entry requirements, for the bachelor, you need your high school diploma and a sufficient IELTS or TOEFL. And for the master's, you need a business-related bachelor degree or a bachelor degree in something else but relevant work experience, and also sufficient English test result. If you don't have any work experience and you don't have a business-related degree, then there are also 2 foundation programs that give direct access to one of the master programs. So that's also a possibility. For River Delta development, it's quite similar. The only thing is that instead of a business-related degree, you need a degree related to River Delta development. So that can be environmental sciences, water management, or something else. I think this was already mentioned, but besides registration in StudyLink, every university has their own application process. So that's really something you need to keep in mind when you apply for a program. So for both the bachelor and the master, you need to register in StudyLink. So StudyLink is the national database here in the Netherlands to register for any Dutch university. And StudyLink actually opens next Friday for the September intake, but it's already open for the February intake. Because we have 2 intakes. The September intake is a big intake where all programs start, and then February is when the master programs start and the short foundation program. After you've registered in StudyLink, we will ask you to send your application documents to the admissions team, and the admissions team will double check whether you're eligible for the program. At the same time, the bachelor students will also receive an invitation to participate in the study program check, which sounds scary, but is not scary at all because it just consists of an online CV and an additional interview with me or my colleague just to go over your motivation and just to make sure that you're making the right decision and that this program and that this university is really good fit for you. So that probably happens at the same time when you send your documents, because you will receive that invitation after your study link registration. For the masters, there is also an interview, but that will happen after your application documents have been checked. So the order is a little bit different. After everything is done, you will receive a conditional admission email, which means that you are conditionally admitted to the program based on a few conditions, like actually graduating, because especially for the bachelor students, most of you are still in high school. And of course that you fulfill the payment and all of those things. You probably also need a visa, so that's something that our student support team will take care of. They will let you know once the visa is ready for pickup at the embassy in your city, and the residence permit is something that you will pick up here in Rotterdam. And after that, we will let you know when we expect you to be here. We'll have a really nice introduction week where we actually offer pickup service from the airport to bring you to Rotterdam, show you around, have a lot of nice activities. And usually first week of September is when classes start. So that's what it looks like. This is just a financial overview for you to know what you can expect in terms of living costs, because of course, besides the tuition fee, there is also a living cost that you need to take into account. It really depends on your spending behavior, but in general, it's around 800 to 1,000 euros per month that you will spend on rent, groceries, going out. So that's what you can expect. A lot of our students have part-time jobs. For you as a non-EU student, you are allowed to work 16 hours per week max. So that's 2 days, which I think is sufficient, or full-time during June, July, and August. So those are the two options that you have as a student. For the bachelor students, we don't recommend you to start working right away because everything is new, the country, the environment, your classroom. So give yourself some time to get used to that. And of course, Rotterdam is a nice city to be in. So not only for studying, also for other nice things. So the master campus actually shares their location with Erasmus University, which is a research university. And we share their sports facilities. So for a very reasonable amount, only 200 euros a year, you can make unlimited use of the sports center and also take part or become a member of one of the 25 sport clubs that we have. We also work with student ambassadors. They are current students, and every year we have a new team, and they are here to help you out during open days, introduction, or if you have any questions that you would like to ask them. We also work with RISA, the Rotterdam International Student Association. Within the university, they organize a lot of nice social events and business events, so really cool to join them as well. And then before I wrap up, I just want to say that if you have time after this, make sure to check out YouTube Rotterdam Business School. All of the webinars are there, really nice. They are specifically about each program, but then also about student life and what it's like to be here as an international student. So that's just, I highly recommend you to watch those. And before we go to the Q&A, I just want to ask maybe Vanessa, since you're still studying, maybe you can start. Maybe you could just share a little bit about yourself and why you chose RBS and how it's been for you this journey.
Hi, yeah. So everyone, my name is Vanessa. It's nice to meet you. And I'm currently studying my master degree in supply chain management at Rotterdam Hogeschool. And yeah, so basically I will start why I chose the Netherlands to study in the Netherlands, because as we know that Netherlands is a nice country, has a nice cultures as well. That's why I like it. And also they have like work-life balance really good. And first of all, why I also choose RBS, Rotterdam Business Schools, It's because they offers the programs called supply chain management, and that's what I'm interested. I have worked before in purchasing, so that's why it's still related with my programs now. And this program is for 1 year. Also same with Leo, I believe. So yeah, now I'm currently in a third block, and because I was in the last cohort, so everything was still online. It's a little bit bad, but it will be good for you guys to start this year or next year's, because I believe everything's already offline. So you can go to class physically, meet people, meet friends, meet teachers, and have interactive class. So it will be nice for you as well. And yeah, for the program itself, for me, I really enjoy it, and I don't regret the programs, because it helps me for my career and my social skills, as well as Marisa already mentions that in Rotterdam Business School or Rotterdam Hogeschool, we provide more about group work, practical skills, so you can increase your communication skills, you can increase your social skills, and it will be great for you for your own career in the futures. So yeah, it's nice. And also in my programs, they also provide personal leadership class, for example, like that. So it's also nice for you to develop yourself better. And before I joined my master's degree, I took a pre-master first for 6 months. So they have like 2 programs. The first one is for 1 year, and the second one is for 6 months. I took for 6 months because I have worked before in Jakarta. So yeah, just to prepare myself better before taking master degree. So that's the point why I chose pre-master first. And also, Marisa already mentions about you can take part-time job while studying, but yeah, maybe for bachelor degree it's not nice to start working in the first year, because you will be busy with new stuff, introductions week and everything. But for me, because I'm taking master degree, so still have a lot of times, so I can do my part-time job as well in thuisbezorg. So yeah, you can just like deliver food with bike, or yeah, in Indonesia maybe Gojek or Grab food, so something like that. So it's still similar, and it's also flexible, so it's nice. I think overall that's about my experience studying here. So yeah.
Very nice. Thank you, Vanessa. And guys, if you have any questions for Vanessa or Leo, after Leo shared their experience, then please feel free to ask them, because they are here now. So now is your chance to get some more insights from them. Thank you, Vanessa. Leo, do you want to share your experience?
Yes, sure. Thanks, Vanessa. Thanks, Marisa. Yeah, so I came here around September 2019. Then I started studying also master in supply chain management. And my reason to choose RBS is because when I researched the program, I don't know now, but back then RBS is the only applied science university that offer the supply chain program. So I cannot find that program in other applied science university. So that's why I choose RBS. And I actually quite glad that I choose RBS, because I really like how they teach us as a student. Because for me, I came from the marketing and from a non-supply chain background, so I don't have any knowledge before. So I actually kind of scared at first, because it is quite new for me to learn all the new stuff. But actually, I think the lecturer was able to teach us in an easy way, so we all can understand. And also back then, I also remember that we also have some kind of visit to the port, for example. So it was really a nice experience for me, because it was my first time as well, and I think the port was really cool, and everybody should go there. And also I also like that the learning experience is both in the class and also outside of the class. So back then I have the guest lecture every week. So there will be someone from the company to share the supply chain in their company. So it's really a good learning thing, because you don't only learn from the book, but you also learn from people that actually working in a company. And yeah, although in the middle of my block 3, I remember there was the start of the COVID stuff. So I already from that point on, I already have a class online. But I think overall it's a really good experience also, because we have a lot of group work, teamwork. So there's a lot of interaction, and we can really making connection with other people. And for you guys, especially for this year and next year, you will be coming to this class as well. So it is a really good experience. And for me, I finished my master last year on August. And yeah, after that, I tried to find a job, and I got a job this year. And yeah, I started last March until now. So yeah, if you have any question regarding how life after the study and stuff, yeah, please leave comment in the chat, and I will try to give you some information. Yeah, I think that's all
Nice.
for me.
Very nice. Thank you, Leo. And also really nice that you mentioned that you actually have people from the workforce coming into the classroom, sharing their experience. And then at the same time, also you as a class, you go and you visit the port and see what is really going on there. So that's, I think, really nice. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, I think instead of the chat, because I think the chat is for the whole group, maybe you can just unmute yourself and just ask the question personally. So please go ahead. Questions can be about anything. It can be specifically for Vanessa or Leo. It can be very practical questions. Maybe Vanessa, you, because you did your foundation program first, of course, what was the main thing that you needed to get used to when you came to RBS?
Well, I think first of all, it's a culture. So maybe in Dutch culture, you will practice to speak more direct. So when I joined the class online, well, it's not nice to see people from the screen, but also the teacher encouraged us to like speak up. Don't be afraid to speak up and give your opinions. So I also learned that from my pre-master programs. So it's a small group, only like 11 people, but it's also nice to speak with the teacher, also with the friends, and I get used to it. So I can prepare myself for the masters better. So I think it's also nice with the programs like that. You can prepare yourself better before starting study.
Yeah, nice. And you already had you were already working in Jakarta, right? You mentioned.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, nice. I see Jody, please go ahead.
Yes, hello, my name is Jody and I'm from Indonesia. I have a question about for Rotterdam University. Is there any further information or more detailed information about architecture master program?
It's architecture is not offered by us as a business school, but I do know that the Willem de Koning Academy or the Piet Zwart Academy has courses related to that. I believe Piet Zwart actually has an architecture course. So if you just go to wdka.nl, you'll find more information there.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day.
You too, Jody.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Tamra, go ahead.
I just had a question. I actually am the university counselor for 2 high schools in Senegal, West Africa. Just wondering what your, if you have any support programs or, you know, different, like a department that really focuses on providing support to international students.
Yes, absolutely. I, as an international recruitment officer, I'm part of the Center of International Affairs, which Vanessa and Leo are very familiar with. And we support students from the beginning, so during the whole application process, but also once they get here. We have a committee called International Students in Action. We focus on student welfare, on community building, and career options. So throughout those 4 years, we support students throughout their program, whether that's related to their professional development or whether they are struggling with maybe some private issues, for which we always work together with the counselors within the university. So in that way, we do our best to support our students.
Great, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Tamra. Rana, yes, please go ahead.
Hi, okay, I just have 2 questions. So the very first one is, can I have the tuition fee list for international students? That's allowed. And second, are there any like scholarships open, especially for undergraduate programs? And I'm planning to take communications. So yeah, are there any scholarships for that program that I'm taking?
Okay, so for the master programs, there is a scholarship, which is called the OTS or Installed Scholarship. For undergrads, we personally don't really offer scholarships. We also don't offer communications, as we are a business school. So it's only the bachelor's only in international business. Of course, business communication is part of your program, but there's no program specifically related to communication.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So Vanessa, it's interesting that you mentioned that you needed to get used to the directness of the Dutch, because you're right, that is a thing. But maybe what I can also share is, especially also within a bachelor program, there's a lot of attention to intercultural competencies. And, you know, you are in an international classroom, especially the masters. I think the masters is 70-80% international, maybe by now 100% international. So that's really actually good practice for after graduation if you have to work for an international company, whether that's here or outside of the Netherlands. And Leo, how was that for you? That culture shock, or was it a shock?
Yeah, I mean, for me, during my year, I think there is a lot of Dutch student as well, because I believe that they get some kind of subsidy from the government stuff, so they pay less for the program.
That's the EU fee.
Yeah. So I think the one thing that I really glad that that I joined that year is because there's a lot of Dutch student, so I can really learn the culture from the Dutch basically. So really from the source. And yeah, it was really shocking at first because, for example, like in the group meeting, they like to debate, like debate like really in the middle of the discussion, they like debating so hard, like it's like almost like fighting, you know. It's kind of uncommon in the Indonesian culture, because we usually like to hear people first and then try to express our idea with more like softer approach. But for them it's like direct and they like to debate. And yeah, I think, but also luckily I think for there's a lot of Dutch people that is really open, so they are willing to also adjust the way they discuss and the way they work to us. So at that time, although I have some difficulties in adjusting myself, but I also get some help from the Dutch, so because they also trying to adjust to my culture, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, and that's actually really good, that, you know, it has to come from both sides, of course. Everyone needs to adjust, also the Dutch. Dutch students, because suddenly they're now also in an international in an international classroom, and they might have come from a very Dutch classroom setting, and now they're working together with students from all over. So it requires adjustment from both sides, and especially the master program, it's only 1 year, so it's quite, everything is quite fast paced. So that adjusting needs to happen quickly, of course. For the bachelor students, they have 4 years to develop those skills, so they have a little bit more time. Good. And what
Yeah,
would you? Oh yeah, sorry. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
just want to add something. It's fun. Yeah, I also agree with Leo about the cultures, and totally agree with that, because I also experienced that things. So don't worry about studying in the Netherlands. If you cannot speak Dutch, it's totally fine, because people in here, especially Netherlands, they all can speak English. So don't worry also about studying in Rotterdam business schools. Everything, all programs, I believe, is all in English. So yeah, it's easier for you to study as well. And if after graduations, if you are looking for a job, whether it's a Dutch company or international company, don't worry also about that things, because Dutch people also opened, that Leo already mentions. And yeah, it's easy for you then to apply for a job or looking, because now I'm also doing my internship, even though it's not mandatory from the programs, but it depends on us whether we can go we can do the internship or not, or just picking a project from a company. But I prefer to do the internship, because I believe it's better to get a real experience from the company itself, to know how it works with the Dutch people, with the real project, with the real challenge and everything. So it's really nice. And they are also opened, even though I cannot speak Dutch really well to them, but they are really open and they're okay with that. So don't worry.
Yeah, that's great. And that's true, actually, especially with the language, what you mentioned. And I think the difficult thing also here is when everyone speaks English, especially in Rotterdam. So if you try to practice your Dutch, then they immediately switch to English, which is also not always the best thing. But yeah, but I think that's also, it says a lot about the city, because there is within the Netherlands, although the Netherlands as a country is quite international, of course, big export country, but there is a lot of difference between cities in how open they are towards international students. And so, yeah, I think that's also something to keep in mind when you're making your decision. You need to choose an environment where you feel comfortable and just can, have a part-time job or join a club or do something else besides studying. That's really important. I don't think there are a lot of other questions, but if you guys could give some advice to students who are, today we have 21 universities within one country already. So there's a lot of choice. I can imagine that it's quite difficult. What advice would you give to students who are thinking of studying in the Netherlands?
Maybe I can start first. Yeah, I think my advice is don't think too much, don't worry too much, because Netherlands is a nice choice if you want to study in here. I believe yeah, based on the skills that you can gain in here is also nice. You can gain a real experience to study abroad, especially in the Netherlands. As I told you before, that people in here are speaking speaking English. So don't worry about that once. So also RBS is international schools. So yeah, it's also nice to have a great experience in RBS.
Yeah, for me, yeah, it's really similar to what Vanessa said, but what I want to add is just be yourself, don't try to be someone else, but maybe because of the culture as well from Indonesia, maybe just try to be a little bit more active, to speak up more. So for example, if you are in a class, then just try to approach them first rather than waiting for them to to say hi to you, because it will help you a lot in a class. And I think if you like to study in an applied science university and you really want to go into a business, whatever major is it, I think it's RBS is a good place to study, because I think it's in a very good city and really international, but you can also learn the Dutch culture as well. So it's like a one complete package, and it is a really good place to live as well. For me, even I already moved to Amsterdam, I still prefer to live in in Rotterdam actually, because it was better, obviously.
Oh, really? It's better than Amsterdam?
Well, yeah, Amsterdam is a bit too busy, you know, and
Yeah,
it's
that's
a bit too crowded. I don't really.
yeah. I'm sure it needed to, because I am from Rotterdam, so I'm also very I like the spaciousness here. There's a lot
Yeah.
of space here.
Yeah,
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 and I'm
that's true.
sure you
That's-
you really get that now that you're living
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Amsterdam. And
yeah,
Amsterdam is
obviously.
also lovely, but it's of course the capital city, so that attracts a lot of tourists. So that's why it's actually throughout the whole year it's quite busy. Vanessa, you wanted to?
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm the opposite from Leo or you, because I'm living in Dordrecht, so it's
Oh, yeah.
a quiet city.
It's really
And
quiet.
yeah, even though it's not too far from Rotterdam, but if I can choose, I like to stay in the Rotterdam rather than in Dordrecht. But Dordrecht also nice. So yeah,
Yeah,
but
and I
just
mean
too quiet.
Dordrecht is very close, of course, to Rotterdam.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, do you take the train or?
Yeah, yeah, you can choose whether with the train or with the bus, because in here the transportations are really easy to access. So
Yeah, that's maybe also a good point to mention that. So for the ones who didn't want the bike, there it's very easy to actually to get a bike here in the Netherlands. Everyone has one. I bike to the university every day. But yeah, besides biking, there's really good infrastructure, really good transportation system. I mean, I wouldn't bike in Jakarta. I don't know how that is in the other cities, but
no, you
but
can go.
no,
It's too
but
crowded.
it's too crowded. But well, maybe it would be less crowded if there were less cars and more maybe biking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, there are special biking lanes here. It's very spacious, so it's very easy. But you can also very easily make use of public transportation. There is a tram, bus, metro, train, water taxi, even water bus. So yeah, so that's maybe also something to mention. And yeah, I think what Leo mentioned was also really good, that don't wait too long for someone to approach you. You can also just be proactive and approach them and say hi and introduce yourself, especially when you're in your new class. But of course, it's also something you need to do when you are looking for an internship or graduation assignment. You have to be proactive and show initiative and reach out to companies yourself. And of course, we can help you because we are a business school with a big network, but it's always also good to develop those skills and to, you're already outside of your comfort zone. I completely understand that, but then you need to take it a step further. So yeah, that's maybe also good, because in terms of what is expected from our students is also that we expect you to ask questions, to come to us if there is something we need to help you with. And I do notice that from students coming from outside of the countries, that sometimes that is something they need to get used to, because we have a good support system and we have all the help here, but you do need to reach out for it yourself. And that's for the master students, maybe that's sometimes a bit easier because they are a bit older than the bachelor students. If you have just graduated from high school, then you're a bit younger, then it can be quite difficult in the beginning to get used to, but that is something that we expect from our students, to be proactive and to show initiative, and to ask for help when needed. All right. In the meantime, are there any more questions for our students or for me? Or please raise your hand or just unmute yourself and ask. I think you guys have been very clear. There are not a lot of questions today. Vanessa, do you already know what your plan is after graduating?
Yeah, I think I will start applying for work, whether I can continue to work in my current company now.
Okay,
So-
and which company was that again?
Albeli.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Albeli. Yeah,
The
Albeli is a
photo book,
photographer. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, very
Yeah,
nice. What
it's
is
in The
your
Hague.
position? Yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, so first, it's a great story, I think, to share with you guys about the internship as well, because first, internship is not a part of our program, so it's not mandatory. As I mentioned again, there are two options when you want to write your thesis. So first, you can also pick a project from a company and get a sponsor from company, or the second options, you can do the internship. So I believe Leo choose the project, right, Leo? Yeah. And me, I want to do the internship because I want to gain a real experience. And I applied for a company, looking for a company for 4 months, and it's not easy, but again, in here you should be proactive and keep going, not give up. So I kept continue to look the job, the internship, and apply for the company. And then I got the internship actually this month. So still new, everything's still new for me. Actually, last week, yeah, it was my first day to work in Albeli. And to be honest, it was a great experience to get to know people in work environments, and also get a real job, how it looks like, what are the real challenge from them. Also have a meeting with them, talk with them. It's also nice. So yeah.
Very nice. So that's actually a great example of not giving up and just, you have a goal, you need to find a company and you just go for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think that's really great. So it's in The Hague, and how do you travel to The Hague?
Yeah, it's by train and tram. Sometimes
Train
can
and tram.
be train and bus as well. As I told you, it's easy to have access for the transportation. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. So yeah, The Hague is of course a different city, so that's also possible.
Yeah.
And I saw a question from Tammy about studying in Groningen. Tammy, I'm sorry, we're located in Rotterdam, which is like 3 hours from Groningen. So we can't really help you, but I'm sure there is someone here, someone at a different university who is located there. So Leo, which company have you been working for? It's based in Amsterdam. So what is it and what do you do?
Yeah, it's kind of complicated because in March, I was working with a company called Gorillas. It's quite famous right now. It's they deliver your groceries within 10 minutes with a bike. It's a startup from Germany. So they're quite new actually. They just established 1 year ago, and I joined them as a demand planner back in March. But after 6 months, I really like the job actually because it's mostly about the procurement, so ordering stuff and making sure that we have enough stock in the warehouse. But because they are new, so they are not able to give me the visa that I need. So that's why I actually, this month is also my first month working with my new company, which is LG. Yeah.
LG, everyone knows
yeah,
LG.
LG. Yeah, LG. And
nice.
I work there as a supply chain planner in their air solution, which is the AC and all those kind of stuff products. So basically, yeah, they have the EU hub in the Netherlands, and we basically, yeah, we're making sure that we have stock for the whole EU stuff. So, and also communicating with other EU countries and making sure that they have enough stock to deliver it to the customer. So those kind of stuff, some planning
Yeah.
stuff and this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Very nice. And how do you feel? Do you think that RBS prepared you well? It's a bit of a trick question. Do you feel that RBS prepared you well enough, or were there also things that were new to you when you started working? Well, I think, not getting the visa is already quite a challenge, of course, but yeah, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the knowledge, of course, RBS has given me enough skills, I think, to be able to work in the job, because it is because before I didn't know all the terms in supply chain, but because of RBS I know, and I can do my job quite well. But in terms of the career development thing, I think it's something that maybe can be improved from RBS, maybe to give us some kind of career fair or something. So
Exactly.
we can connect better to the companies and stuff.
Yeah, and that's good feedback, definitely. Yeah, very nice. Did you mention it? Because I remember that every class has a class rep. Did you actually give that feedback to them?
I forgot actually, but I think I did. I think I did.
Yeah, because that's really, because especially the master program, the bachelor of course as well, but they are very much focusing on improving, and so yeah, that's maybe also something to mention if you notice those things, and it's always good to give that feedback to either your course director or the class rep. But yeah, that's really good to know. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, I think we're gonna wrap up, because I just saw a message from NASO that they're gonna end the breakout rooms and go back to the main session. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who joined today. Thank you, Vanessa and Leo, for taking the time. It's Saturday, it's your weekend, so I really appreciate you sharing your experience, and I'm sure that the students found it very valuable. So thank you so much. For today, go ahead and enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's really nice weather today. I was outside this morning, and it's actually quite warm today and tomorrow. So please enjoy that before fall really sets in. So thank you so much. Vanessa, good luck graduating and finding a job after graduation, and please stay in touch with us.
Thank you.
Leo, thank you so much. Good luck with your new position in Amsterdam. And maybe before we really wrap up, I just want to say that we work with Eduplan Indonesia. They're located in Jakarta. I'm sure Leo and Vanessa are really familiar with them. They are our official agency in Jakarta, and or throughout Indonesia, and they can help you with the whole application process. Their name is Eduplan. So please go ahead. If you have any more questions after this, you can reach out to them. So thank you, everyone. We're gonna wrap up. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask us or to reach out to Eduplan. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Nice
guys.
day.
Have a nice day.